Hello and welcome to my next favorite unit. This is the solar system unit. We're going to learn about the planets, asteroids, comets, all kinds of super cool stuff in this unit. First, just like always, we got to talk about the vocabulary involved in this unit. So the first word we are going to look at is the solar system. And the solar system is made up of the 8 planets and numerous other objects that orbit our sun. And orbit just means something that stays in a circle going around it. Next, we have celestial objects, and those are objects located in the sky: planets, moons, stars, comets, asteroids, and meteors. Next, we're going to talk about an orbit. Here's that word again. It's a regular curved path that revolves around an object. So the moon is in orbit around Earth here. The Earth is in orbit around the sun. So just anything that goes in a regular curved path and revolves around an object. So the next word is gravity, and gravity is the pull that all objects with mass exert or put on other matter. So what this means is that anything in the universe that has mass has gravity. Anything that has mass. That means I am exerting gravity on other things that are smaller than me. Even me. Even this pencil right here, as little as it is, has gravity. Now, it's not very much. It's not enough that you can even feel it. Even, with a person, it's not enough that we could feel it. But anything that has mass exerts gravity on other matter. Kind of cool, right? So the next words we're going to talk about are stars. So stars are a ball of mostly hydrogen and helium gas, and it makes its own heat and its own light. And the next word is the sun. And the sun is the closest star to Earth. It provides light and heat for our solar system and our planet. The next word is a planet. I bet you guys have learned about planets before in the past. A planet is a spherical ball of rock and gas or gas that orbits a star like our sun. So there are 2 types of planets. We've got terrestrial planets and we have Jovian planets. A Jovian planet is the big gas giant or ice giant planets that are way far out in our solar system. Jovian planets are made up of gases and they're not solids. Okay. The other type of planets are terrestrial planets. Terrestrial planets are like Earth and made up of solid materials like rocks. So in our solar system, the inner planets are rocky and terrestrial planets that orbit between the sun and the asteroid belt. We'll talk more about the asteroid belt in just a little bit. The 4 inner planets in our solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and they go in that order. So Mercury's closest to the sun, then comes Venus, Earth is number 3, and Mars is number 4. The asteroid belt is an area of space between the inner and outer planets. So we've got inner planets, here's the sun, inner planets, then the asteroid belt is between the inner planets and the outer planets. Most of those asteroids orbit in that asteroid belt. Now the outer planets are gaseous planets, the Jovian planets, that orbit beyond the asteroid belt. So they're a long ways away. These planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So these are all 4 Jovian planets or gas giant planets. So let's talk about asteroids, and this is this word up here at the top. So an asteroid, they're rocky objects that orbit the sun between the inner and the outer planets in the asteroid belt. They're smaller than a planet, but they're larger than a meteoroid. And now here's a meteoroid. They're a natural chunk of rock or dust that comes from outside Earth's atmosphere. A meteor is a small object that enters Earth's atmosphere and burns due to friction. It gives off light. Have you ever heard of a meteor shower? These are the things that are going through Earth's atmosphere. They're burning up due to friction. So a meteorite these ones right over here, are remains of meteoroids that strike Earth's surface or the moon. Kind of neat, right? So it's kind of the same idea all the way around, but one of them comes through Earth's atmosphere. One of them actually lands on Earth. Kind of cool, right? So next on our list are comets, and comets are a chunk of frozen gases, ice, and rock, and they have an elongated orbit. It's called an elliptical orbit, and you might have heard the word elliptical in the past, meaning like an exercise bike. This isn't what we're talking about here. We're talking about an orbit. Most of the time, an orbit's going to be pretty close to round, but a comet is stretched way out, so it'll go kind of like this. Instead of a planet, it's going to go in kind of a more circular motion. That's an elliptical. A coma is the glowing heated dust and vapor that surrounds the icy nucleus of a comet as it moves near the sun. Solar winds from our sun cause a tail to form away from the sun. I'm going to try to find a video that shows you how the tail of a comet goes around the sun, because it's kind of neat to watch it, because it's always going to point away from the sun. It's just kind of cool. Next, we have the moon, which is a natural satellite that orbits a planet. Now, we know our moon, we see it all the time, but most of the other planets, not all of them, but most of them, have moons that go around them as well. They're just not the same as our moon. Obviously, they're their own moons. Some of the planets even have more than one. Kind of neat, right?